Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa-kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-vedanta Swami-niti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 25, the glories of devotional service. So, although we have completed this chapter, we are just staying with the chapter for a day because it's a very, very beautiful, very important chapter in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So, we are reciting the shlokas. Come to text 24, 3.25.24. Okay. Yeah. Yats ta ete sadhava sadhvi
एते साधवः साध्वी
सर्वसंग विवर्जिताः
सर्वसंगविवर्जिताः
संगस्त्वेष्वते प्रार्थ्यः
संगस्तेष्वते प्रार्थया
संगदोषहराहिते.
संगदोषहराहिते.
Translation.
O my mother, O virtuous lady, these are the qualities of great devotees who are free from all attachment. You must seek attachment to such holy men, for this counteracts the pernicious effects of material attachment.
Yeah. The ete sadhava sadhvi. Get attached to such devotional minded people. Sadhvi. He's saying his own mother is calling, O Sadhvi, O great Devahūti. Sarva Sangha Vivarjitaha. Sangastesh. So Srila Prabhupada quotes Nirvana Moha in the purport. And you know how the result of association is. Okay. Then comes text 25, very celebrated verse of Bhagavatam. Tatam prasangat mama virya samvido.
Tatam prasangat mama virya samvido
भवन्तिरत्कर्ण रसायन कथाः
bhavantirutkarna rasayana katha
तज्जोषनादाश्व अपवर्गवर्त्मनि
तज्जोषणादाश्वपवर्गवर्त्मनि
श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति.
श्रद्धातिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति.
Translation.
Translation. In the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is free and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin.
Yeah. So very amazing verse. Satam prasangat mama virya samvido. So this is the constant messaging of Kapila Muni, that always hear about and glorify the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, my message. Mama virya samvido. Bhavanti, what happens? It becomes, what it becomes? Rit karna rasayana katha. Such katha becomes rit rasayan. It is the best elixir for the heart, and the karna rasayan. Okay. so far. Tajjoshanat ashva apavargamartmani. Very soon, the doors of liberation, apavarga, they are open. And how the process happens? Shraddha, Ratir, Bhaktir, Anukramashyati. In Anukramashyati, in sequence, it will strengthens one's Shraddha, then attachment, Rati, and then devotional service, Bhaktir, Anukramashyati. So, very amazing verse. We'll just recite it once again. Tatam prasangat mama virya samvido.
Tatam prasangat virya samvido.
Bhavantirutkarna rasayana katha.
Bhavantirutkarna katha.
Tajjoshanadashva apavargavartmani.
Tajjoshanadapavargavartmani.
Shraddha Ratir-bhaktir-anukramishyati. Next, immediate next, 26. Bhaktya pumanjata viraga indriyat.
Bhaktya pumanjat viraga indriyat.
Drishtat shrutatmat rachananuchintaya. Tasya yatto grahane yoga-yukto. Yatishyate rujibhir-yoga-margaiः. Translation.
Thus, consciously engaged in devotional service in the association of devotees, a person gains a distaste for sense gratification, both in this world and in the next, by constantly thinking about the activities of the Lord. This process of Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of mystic power. When one is actually situated on that path of devotional service, he is able to control the mind.
Yeah, so this is how the process of devotional service is acting on the devotee. This is how, and what is the result? The result is one is able to control the mind, and as soon as mind is controlled, jitatmanah prashantasya paramatma samarita. And mark these words, very beautiful. Rujibhir yoga margaihi. So this path of devotional service is called as the most gentle, easy path of devotional service. Then we come to, so this is the first Upadesh of Kapila Muni. And then we come to the verse 29. Devotee is asking now, tell me the direct process. Okay, very nice verse. Yo yo bhagavat bano.
Yo yogo bhagavat pano.
Nirvanam satmanatvaya.
Nirvana statuyudita.
Krisha yati changani.
Drishati changani.
Yatattva avabodhanam.
Yatastatavabodhanam.
Translation.
Translation: the mystic yoga system, as you have explained, aims at the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is meant for completely ending material existence. Please let me know the nature of that yoga system. How many ways are there by which one can understand in truth that sublime yoga?
So this is the exact question she is asking. What is the Bhagavat Bana? It should penetrate. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport. The Bhagavat Bana will penetrate even the realization of Brahman, Paramatma, and directly reach at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And therefore it is called as Bhagavat Bana. And what is that process and how many different ways of devotional service are there to be engaged? So this is the question by Devahūti. And then she prays, my dear son. And then there is a very beautiful verse, text 31, which is connecting verse. Maitreya uvacha
Maitreya
viditvartham kapilo maturitham जातस्नेहो यत्र तन्वाभिजातः तत्त्वां नायं यत् प्रवदन्ति साङ्ख्यम् प्रोवाच वै भक्तिवितानयोगम् Translation.
Sri
Sri
Maitreya.
Maitreya,
Yes, go ahead.
Sri Maitreya said, after hearing the statement of his mother, Kapila could understand her purpose and he became compassionate towards her because of being born of her body. He described the Sankhya system of philosophy, which is a combination of devotional service and mystic realization, as received by disciplic succession.
Yeah. So very beautiful words here, one after another. Viditvartham kapilo maturitham jata sneho yatra tanvabhijatah. Tanva abhijatah. Abhijatah means utpanna hona. He has apne sharir se tanvabhijatah. He had come from the body of Devahūti. Jata sneho. Therefore, there was, the very, very natural sneha towards his mother. Bhakti-vitana yogam. Bhakti-vitana yogam is the mystic process of devotional service. Text 33, the process of devotional service, how it affects the subtle body. Jarayatyashu yakosham nigirnam analo yatha. Yeah, this is one line verse. Translation.
Bhakti, devotional service, dissolves the subtle body of the living entity without separate efforts, just as fire in the stomach digests all that we eat. Hare Krishna.
So this is the effect of devotional service. It will dissolve the subtle body, and subtle body is the cause of the next gross body. But when the subtle body is dissolved, the soul remains with his own spiritual body, the living entity, and then goes back to the spiritual world. So this is the effect of devotional service. Dissolves the subtle body. Right. Text 34, very, very famous verse. Naikatmatam me spruhayanti kechin. Matpada seva abhirata madiha. Nyato bhagavata prasajya. Jayante mama paurushani. Translation.
A pure devotee who is attached to the activities of devotional service and who always engage in the service of the mind, lotus feet, never desire to become any one with me. Such a devotee who is unflinchingly engaged always glorifies my pastime and activities. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so very amazing verse. The pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada writes a huge purport to this, almost 2 pages, 2 pages purport. Naikatmatami spruhayanti kechin. A pure devotee who is always attached to the activities of devotional service, always engages in the service, never desires to become one with me. Kaivalyam narakayate. This is never aspiration of a devotee. Extremely corrupt and dirty aspiration to become one with the Supreme. Devotee will prefer hellish planet than to become and merge in the Brahmajyoti, thinking that I have become liberated now. I have become one with the God. So this is a very dirty aspiration, and that devotee will categorically give aside this aspiration. Such a devotee who is unflinchingly engaged always glorifies my pastimes and activities. So constantly there is focus on discussing Kṛṣṇa Katha, glorifying pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord. right? Very famous verse. We'll recite it once again. Naikatmatam me spruhayanti kechin Matpada seva adhirata madiha Nyato bhagavata prasajya Sabhajayante mama paurushani So the next 35, again, very famous verse of Bhagavatam, very special verse. Paschanti te me ruchirani ambasantah Prasanna vaktrarunalochanani Rupani divyani varapradani Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti Translation
Oh my mother. Go ahead, mother.
O my mother, my devotee, always see the smiling face of my form with eyes like the rising morning sun. They like to see my various transcendental forms, which are all benevolent, and they also talk favorably with me.
O my mother, Amba, Paschanti te me, Ruchirani, Amba, Santa. Amba is mother. Santa, my devotees. Prasanna Vaktra, Aruna Lochanani. Prasanna Vaktra, you know how the Lord is. The Lord is very, very pleasing, smiling face. Prasanna Vaktra, Aruna Lochanani. Eyes are like the rising morning sun. Rupani, Divyani, Varapradani. Srila Prabhupada in the purport says these are the deity forms of the Supreme Lord. Amazing deities, right? We have Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra deities. We have Balaji deities. We have Gaurnitai deities. And what to speak of Radha Krishna deities. We have Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanumanji deities. Amazing deities. So these are Rupani, Divyani, Varapradani. Always giving Vara. Sakam Bacham Spruhani Yam Vadanti. And very advanced devotees can speak to the deity. And the neophyte devotees also reveal their heart to the deity, praying to the deity. So this is very, very special verse. We'll recite it once again. Paschanti te me ruchirani ambasantah Prasanna vaktrarunalochanani Rupani divyani varapradani Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti So this is how the devotees take darshan of the Lord. Next verse, immediate next, 36, very amazing verse. Taddarshaniyaravaravairudara Vilasahasa ikshitavama suktaihi Rutatmanoruta pranamscha bhaktir Anichato me gatimanvim prayukte Translation
Upon seeing the
seeing-
charming,
Go ahead.
sorry, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing his very pleasing words, the pure devotees almost loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. Hare Krishna.
Darshaniya, the result of previous verse, Pashyanti teme. Now, Tad Darshaniya, that darshan, upon seeing the charming forms, Avayavair Udarair, Vilasa Hasa Ikshitavama Suktai. Very beautiful verse. That Vilasa, these are smiling, very attractive, and he is always discussing with the very pleasing words, the pure devotee. What happens? Rutatmano, Ruta Pranamscha Bhaktir. Rutatmano, the pure devotee almost loses all other consciousness, right? So his Chetana from Bahiranga becomes Antarmukha. So he is not very excited. So to the degree we are excited by the world, to that degree one can realize that. Of course, again, always we say about it has to be age appropriate and based on one's position in the society, right? Varnashrama society. His senses thus freed, what happens? Anichatomi gatimanvim prayukte. Without even desiring, unwillingness, he attains the liberation without separate endeavor. So this is the glory of devotional service and the effect on the devotee. Another effect is that, one is completely rid of the bhaya or the fear is nivartate. So text 41. Nanyatra madbhagavatah
Anyatra madbhagavatah
pradhana purusheshvarat
pradhana purusheshvara
atmanah sarvabhutanam
Atmanah
atmanah
sarvabhutanam
bhayam tribram nivartate.
bhayam tivram
Bhayam
nivartate.
nivartate.
Translation.
The terrible
terri-
fear of... Sorry, Prabhuji, go ahead.
The terrible fear of birth and death can never be forsaken by anyone who resorts to any shelter other than myself. For I am the Almighty Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original source of all creation, and also the Supreme Soul of all souls. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is the terrible fear of repeated birth and death. Technically, we may not understand what we are afraid of, but a living entity is afraid of the destruction. Why? Because the destruction is very foreign to the living entity. It is not the nature. The nature of living entity is Satchidananda, and the living entity, when there is a destruction, living entity is very afraid. And this real that the afraid is one is afraid of cycle of repeated birth and death. But once one is fully engaged in devotional service, what happens is bhayam tivram nivartate. This intense bhaya just goes away. And the Lord says, what you are afraid of? Look at the things, look at the people who are afraid of me and conducting their duties, and you are my devotee. Why you should be afraid of? And so we come to text 42. Madbhayat vati vatoyam
Madbhayat vati vatoyam
suryastapati madbhayat
Suryastapati
Varshatindro dahati agnir
Harshindro dhatiragni
Pratyuscharati madbhayat.
Pratyushati madhya.
Translation.
It is because of my supremacy that the wind blows. Out of fear of me, the sun shines. Out of fear of me, the Lord of the clouds, Indra, sends forth showers out of fear of me. Fire burns out of fear of me. And death goes about talking its toll out of fear of me.
Yeah, so who all are afraid of the Supreme Lord and simply follow the instructions? Vato vati madbhayat. There is another verse like similar. Suryastapati madbhayat. Varshati indro dahati agnir. Mrityuscharati madbhayat. So madbhayat vati vatoyam. So this is a very beautiful verse and very simple verse also. Very simple to understand the verse. Next, text 43. Now this is very similar to text 18 that we have recited yesterday. process and effect of devotional service. Jnana vairagya yuktena bhakti yogena yoginaha premaya padamulam me pravishanti akuto bhayam. Translation.
The yogi is equipped with
Yes, Mataji, read.
the yogi is equipped with transcendental knowledge and renunciation and engaged in devotional service for their eternal benefit. Take shelter of my lotus feet. And since I am the Lord, they are thus eligible to enter into the kingdom of Godhead without fear.
Jnana vairagya yuktena bhakti yuktena yogina. So they are equipped with jnana and vairagya. How the jnana and vairagya is coming? It's automatically coming by the process of devotional service, right? So in fact, you can see this, a devotee who is practicing even for just 6 months is aware of so many things, and lifetimes of misconceptions will be completely, eradicated by the process of devotional service. He knows he is not the body, he is the spirit soul, he is part and parcel of Krishna. You will never become one with the Supreme. You are one in a qualitative sense, quantitatively you are different, existentially you are different. There is, there is Martya Loka, there is a material world, there is a spiritual world, there is 3 phases of absolute Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. There are 3 modes of material nature. So much of knowledge will come even to somebody who is just in devotional service in connection with the devotees just for 6 months, right? Jnana and Vairagya. One can imagine, devotees living the kind of life they are living. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, right? And the people don't eat onion garlic also. And I was meeting one very devoted Jain person, and he was saying that how it is amazing that your children don't eat onion garlic. It takes a hard time to tell our children not to eat, although we are coming in, this like generational for us. And somebody may be coming from meat-eating family, aho swapachoto gariya, right? So this is the vairagya, which will come by the process of devotional service. So nothing else other than devotional service is required. And Prabhupada stresses that one should be doubtless and fearless, and one should be marching ahead fearlessly on this path, because this path is leading one to the back to Godhead. The last verse, text 44. Now, after all this, therefore, he says, Etavaneva lokesmin Pumsam nishreyasodayah Tivrena bhakti yogena mayo mayarpitam sthiram. Translation.
Therefore, persons whose minds are fixed on the Lord engage in the intensive practice of devotional service. That is the only means for attainment of the final perfection of life.
Yeah, therefore, my dear mother, so it's concluding the message here. Persons whose minds are fixed on the Lord engage in Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, intense practice of devotional service, right? Chanting 16 rounds is an intense practice. It takes time, it takes energy. So, but it is Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, Mano Mayarpitam Sthiram. And this is the only means for attainment of the final perfection of one's life. Srila Prabhupada quotes Ambarish Maharaj, an importance of engaging mind in the service of the Supreme Lord, Savai Mana Krishna Padarvindayo. So before we close, I just want to have a couple of things I want to discuss here. We will conclude in 1 minute, and then tomorrow we'll begin with the new chapter. So this reading that we are doing every day, which is called a sport. Sport stands for Srila Prabhupada Online Reading Terminus. And by design, it is purely a reading activity, right? So although myself and many of the devotees, they are based in Pune who are attending, but this is not limited to only Pune devotees. And neither it is limited only to, sometimes people say, Prabhuji, you are reading for your counselees. No, it is not like that. It is not for my counselee group. And you will be surprised to know that not everybody in my counselee group also attends this reading. So it is not for counselees only, or it is not for Pune devotees only. Everybody is welcome. So in these readings, we do certain things very critically we follow. First thing is that we never promote any particular temple, any particular guru, any particular counselor, any particular seva also in the reading. It is not that during Janmashtami time we are talking about fundraising or something like that. No, passing reference if it comes in the purport, and because that will be there. Neither in the book distribution time we will be discussing about book distribution. So we keep this as pure reading. And what sets the mood for the reading for that day? Whatever Srila Prabhupada sets the mood, right? Srila Prabhupada sets the mood. That means whatever is there in the purport, that's what we will read, and we will, the hover around purport. And largely when we discuss the explanations, we also discuss the explanations based on other examples, stories, analogies, pastimes of Srila Prabhupada with reference to, the current point which is going on in the purport. So we try to keep this reading very, very Prabhupada. Very, very Prabhupada means, it is centered around the message of Srila Prabhupada, right? And we try not to obscure the reading, the Srila Prabhupada's point by excessive points as well. Of course, one thing is that I'm myself not so much knowledgeable to know the many great things like that. Another thing is also that we want to keep the things very, very Prabhupada in the reading. One more important point is, this is not a counseling program. Okay, so why this is because sometimes you may feel like this, that, although we are attending reading, hardly have interacted with any of the devotees who are attending reading. And that is neither the purpose also, right? I remember a couple of devotees meeting in Yatra, and they're saying, Prabhuji, we are in your reading. And then, I could hardly recognize the devotees, but I could recognize the voice because, you have some question answer or something like that. So reading in the morning is only to give the spiritual nourishment, and it is not a substitute to the personal counseling that devotees are receiving. And that's why by design, we have this idea of no personal counseling in the reading, or, after the reading also. I have that unwritten rule that I will not accept anybody as, who has. So this is not to distract anybody from any temple, any seva, any, particular thing or any mood. This is pure reading. So sometimes you may feel it is a little bit of impersonalist. One devotee told me, Prabhuji, I was attending for 1 year and then I suddenly stopped, but you never called me. But that is by design, right? So it is by design that this reading is kept only as pure reading for all the devotees. As many devotees as join, and we will keep reading, the Srila Prabhupada's purports, Srila Prabhupada's beautiful points, the nectar points, and discussing those points, again surrounded by Srila Prabhupada's other purports and other points. So I just thought that time to time we need this kind of a reminder. This is how we are setting this community. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा स्पोर्ट का फुल फॉर्म क्या बताया आपने?
Sport stand for SPORT. So SP, Srila Prabhupada. ORT stands for Online Reading Terminus.
Okay.
Okay. So why we have kept the name sport? Because, sport means generally sport is fun, right? And people look forward sport. Like IPL is coming. People are very excited. So we intend to keep this reading as a, something which is enjoyable activity. Devotee should look forward this reading. And sport will build one's muscles, right? So sport here, reading Srila Prabhupada books will build our spiritual muscles, bhakti muscle. And that's why this is called a sport, right?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Every day we are reading this. This is recorded or not?
Yeah, all we are reading is recorded, and we are extremely grateful to our Tapan Prabhu who puts it on YouTube also.
Okay.
So if you go to YouTube, there is a channel called as Sport Daily Reading. Okay. So if you go to YouTube and say search for YouTube, go to Google and search YouTube Sport Daily Reading, and then you will get.
Dhanyavad.
I
Thank
hope
you.
you will get. No, you will not get like that. So YouTube, you have to go and you have to search for, sport, SPORT, AGTSP, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So when you click on that sport, AGTSP, then you will come to this Sport Daily Reading.
Yes.
And there, with 1 or 2 days of lag, all these videos are recorded. So you will not see this on home. You go to the videos and you will find these videos there.
Okay, Prabhuji, I will
Okay.
try.
So very tirelessly, our Tapan Prabhu and the team, Udit Kṛṣṇa Prabhu and everyone, they are
Yes, yes.
putting
Thank
this
you.
there. Okay, so
Yes.
sometimes if you miss something, we are already there.
Yes, yes. Dhanyavad. Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.